And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your number one consumer advocate, always going against the nonsense out there in the mainstream media, providing you the timely truth centered around 60 to 80 plus categories of show consumer content here, helping you understand more about your buying decisions. Now, remember, we want to help you win. We're the one that's going to help you in this game called life, and especially business, and avoid a lot of the commission breath that's so prevalent out there.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
We want you to save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you are going to need it. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. And also bookmark our website. We've got a plethora of resources there at consumerqb.com. Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Scott Kepler, Mortgage Approval Group. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. It's always great to be here. Again, looking forward to helping some consumers win and talking a little bit about the market and the industry and, selling some houses today from what I understand. So
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Good stuff. Maybe jump into those renovation loans and how that leads into home staging.
Sure.
With Tina Russell making her debut to the Consumer Quarterback Show, Envision It Home Staging. Welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brandon, for the opportunity to be here today. I'm very excited, and I'm hoping to, simply change the mindsets of, why should I stage? A lot of people think that it costs to stage, but I like to say that it really pays to stage.
Yeah, I like that. It does. It definitely does, and the statistics prove that. That's what we've talked about over the years, is that the stats don't lie. There's the numbers add up, and it shows exactly how home staging can help you and reduces the days on the market, and there's countless other benefits as well.
Yes.
So we're going to dive deep into that today. We also have this segment being brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization, and they do a great job. They're very well reviewed online as well. They hold a 4.6 rating on Google and a 4.5 on Yelp, and they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Local or long-distance moves, Brothers Easy Moving is the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here. As you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife and I own and operate that team. 4449 Marine Parkway. This is a great opportunity. Waterfront, just a beautiful photography as well. Check out the photography compliments of Fabre Frameworks, and that's a nice backyard there. You've got a dock, two actual docks with boat ramps, bay access. There's no worrying about the low tides or worrying about the height for your boat to go under the bridges. This is a direct shot, straight out, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2.5 bath, 2-car waterfront townhome in Woodlands neighborhood in Gulf Harbor. It's beautiful property. And check out all of our properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, let's jump right into it. Scott Kepler's in the house. Scott, over the years, we've talked about different types of loan programs. We talked about investors' opportunities. Such a great market. When I look at Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Bradenton, Palm Harbor, the whole area, there's so many different markets within that niche of real estate, that sector of real estate. But investors can win. Owner-occupants can win. And the group that I think should definitely start winning is renters. Get them out of renter. Get them into the home ownership.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, and I always like to go back to it because it's a message that we really want to get across, is that you're throwing your money away with rent when you could be building wealth through real estate. The house is going up in value as the payments are being made, and as those payments are being made, the balance, of course, is going down.
That's right.
And so you're building that equity there that you can use for future investments or to purchase the next house, depending on what your particular goals are. But there are certainly some, opportunities out there for the investors who want to, purchase a house and, maybe flip it. The other option, of course, is purchasing and keeping it long term. Mm-hmm. And we have financing available for both. that's something that we can certainly help with, because there are people out there that need to rent, and so therefore they're looking for, those investors that have a private home that they can rent versus having to move into an apartment with their family.
Right. Yeah, renovate and rent, hold it and keep it, short-term flips, wholesale, tie it up on a contract, get an as-is contract, check the box that says assignable, flip the contract. So many ways that you can utilize real estate here in Tampa Bay. It's just a great market.
Absolutely. There are plenty of little sub-neighborhoods, and that's where your team comes in, is being able to help those investors determine where is a good place to purchase something that maybe is a up and coming area, and you could rent out for a little while and then sell down the road a couple of years, or something that really needs that renovation where you can come in and purchase it, do a renovation loan or do a fix and flip type loan, which is more of a short term for investors who want to purchase and include a lot of the renovation costs into their loan.
Absolutely.
And then be able to flip it down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a ton of different programs depending on what their long-term goals are with that property. And just like we talk about with, people who are homeowners and want to refinance or do a renovation loan, or, somebody who's purchasing a house up front, we always like to find out what those long-term goals are.
Yes.
So we can make sure we help you pick the right product, and we go through the pros and cons of each one. So,
in staying on this topic of niches, there's really riches in the niches when you think about it, and you look at the macro, what's going on with the overall aging demographic of the United States. We all know that we have the baby boomers. They're aging.
Sure.
So here in Tampa Bay, especially in Florida, there's a shortage of nurses. If I didn't already have 5 different companies that were running,
right,
what I would go out there and start investing in assisted living facilities or
sure,
home health care, and buying the real estate, rezoning the property, adding value by rezoning and going in and partnering up with someone that's their passion is, hey, this is they're a nurse at heart. They take care of people. There's another niche, assisted living facilities.
Well, and there's a ton of other ones that kind of go along with that, whether it be commercial real estate or, buying into, say, like medical duplexes or buildings, where it tends to house those doctors and specialists and so on. But, that's where I feel like we just really need to get that message out that, hey, call us and tap into our network and our team here.
That's right.
At the Consumer Quarterback Show, so that we can help you with that direction. We had Kelly on last week, and she does the business loans, and
yep,
I know that she helps a lot of people transition those properties and make them into what they want.
That's right.
As far as commercial real estate and all that is concerned, on the investment side, if you're talking single family, I'm your guy. Give me a call. Let's talk about it, and then we'll team them up with Brandon, and we'll help you find the right property after we get a good grip on what your long-term goal is and what financing is the best option for you.
That's right. ScottKepler.com is his website as well. ScottKepler.com. Just another great example of our expert contributor panel that we have here on the show. Now, these are folks that take time out of their busy schedule to serve as a consumer advocate. They're serving the community in that capacity as a consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions, guiding you with truly non-commission based advice, which is harder to find than you think nowadays. It seems everywhere you turn, you have commission breath coming at you. That's why we set this show up almost 6 years ago, to help you understand more about these buying decisions. And there's also a lot of, today, false advertising, false or misleading, I should say, advertising out there. You got to be careful with these companies that come in and, they offer one thing, and then when you actually look at the closing settlement statement, it's something different. There's fees hidden in there, points. That's what I'm beating the drum on. I'm beating the drum on credit repair and improvement. I want people to take care of their credit and improve it and get better rates on all of their financing, insurances, even getting a job nowadays. Credit improvement's a big area as well, Scott.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of resources now available online, through, Credit Karma and, through some of the FICO forums and things of that sort, where people can get a lot of really valuable information.
Yep.
Of course, it could be dangerous for people too, because it helps coach them on how to get credit.
Yeah.
And you got to really take a hard look. I think first and foremost, in addition to your credit, is your monthly budget. And that's something I always like to talk to people about is you have to have a monthly budget. You have to know how much you can spend on your next house, but you need to know what you're spending now, because, it always, it's kind of enlightening when I tell somebody, hey, you say that, you want to go up $500 a month on your payment from what you're paying in rent,
Right.
but you haven't saved $500 a month, over the last 3 years that you've been renting. So, what's changed to make you feel like you can do that? And it's not because they can't, it's because I want to help them make a sound decision that's going to be good for them in the long term. Last thing I want is somebody to call me and say, I'm having trouble making my payment. What can I do?
Yeah, and when it comes to those things, savings, and it's actions versus words. They're saying one thing, and then their words and the story that they're leaving behind them is kind of like the wake on a boat. A lot of people were out boating this past weekend. The wake on the boat is behind you. The wake from the boat is behind you, and when you're focusing on that. Hey, what am I doing in the future? What am I doing to better my legacy, especially in the renting side? If you're renting right now, let's do that rent versus own analysis. Let's do 3. We're going to give away 3 rent versus own analysis today. All you have to do is text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. And just text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying, 813-670-7372. And Scott's going to hook you up with our rent versus own analysis, going to break down all those numbers on paper, show you how it makes so much more sense to own real estate than buy. We'll see you right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. More from Tina Russell, Envision Homestaging, here on the show. And Texas governor announces $1.6 billion deal for teacher raises. That's a good one. Right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty here in Tampa Bay, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our goal to show. And this segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant. They've got a restaurant, a deli, a New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, and banquets at the Lucky Dill. And it's home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. The food is great. There's so much more than just sandwiches as well. It's great salads, entrees, desserts. It's so much to offer. Check out the website, luckydilldeli.com. And they are at 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa. There's also a location at US 19 North in Palm Harbor as well. Shout out to the Lucky Dill Restaurant. Great food, great service, and a very friendly staff over at the Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, back here in studio, we're helping you win in any marketplace. We've got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group, and Tina Russell, Envision It home staging here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings. I got to let you know about this one in Largo. This is a great opportunity at 13508 Indian Oaks Trail in Largo, Florida. Just a quick drive across from the beach, and you are in a great opportunity, great location. It's a quiet street as well, dead-end quiet street with lots of extras. Beautiful pool home here, large home at 13508 Indian Oaks Trail in Largo. And another beautiful property in St. Petersburg, 3607 Casablanca Avenue. This is right on the beach in St. Pete. Now, this is a great opportunity for either a rental or a second home, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, beach house, private pool, hot tub, fenced-in backyard, very private. Now, what I like about this is the walkability of this property. When you walk out and you make a right, you're going to walk about a half a block down to the Hotel Zamora, hang out at the Hotel Zamora there. And if you want to mix it up, go to the left, you go to the Don Cesar, hang out at the bar, maybe hang out on the beach for the day, go to visit the spa. Great places to check out at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, we're going to talk Envision It home staging now. Tina Russell here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And home staging, the statistics just jump right out, and they're glaring statistics. You know, these homes are going to stay on the market a lot longer. They're going to sell for a lot less money.
Yes.
And you know, it's your day-to-day of talking to people. So you're walking to their number one asset in many cases and explaining to them how you can help them sell.
Yes. I love to do it, first of all, because I love to help people win. You know, that's why I'm so honored to be here on the show today, because I believe in team effort. And
Yes.
if, you know, wherever there's a problem, I believe that we as the consumer, we can help people, you know, solve that problem. And so I'm glad that I could be here today to help people transition in either their next home, or maybe they're relocating, you know, out of state.
Right.
Or, you know, in some cases, there's emergencies that have come up. And so we just come in and do what we do,
Yeah.
which is we create a vision for the potential buyer to walk through that home. Because, you know, I was a former realtor, so I understand that every single house that you show, you are literally dealing with a potential buyer of that home.
Right.
And so what we like to do is go in and really take a look at the character of the home, also look at the neighborhood as well as the culture of the area. You know, so, and I love to do, you know, anywhere in Tampa Bay is just amazing because, you know, there's just culture everywhere. From South Tampa is completely different vibe to living on the coast. So you have to really pick your furniture to go with, you know, the character and the culture, I believe, of that home. And it really does pay to stage, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the one that comes in and helps them really change their mindsets of, you know, why do I want to spend this money to stage?
Yep.
You know, and then after just talking with them and of course being built on relationship, you know, of just, you know, really not pushing, you know, that our client, but just giving them facts, giving them the information, helping them, you know, really open up their minds to see that, you know, this really is a investment that's going to help you out in the long run.
That's right. Yeah, and I've had it happen with some of my listings. We hit the market, we didn't get the reception that we wanted, and ultimately, about 3 to 6 weeks in, I believe it was, we had a change in strategy. We said, let's bring in an expert, let's get it staged, let's get it looking modern, let's declutter, and get the property was under contract within 30 days once that happened.
Yep, and not that we can't guarantee it, but we are having a record here that within 30 to 45 days of the homes that we staged, they have been sold.
Nice.
And another thing that many, people don't realize is sometimes when it, they may want to stage it and they get an offer and say, okay, Tina, can we go ahead and destage it? Things like that we run into, and then they have the inspection.
Yep.
The inspection comes, and then all of a sudden, your potential buyer that you had, walks into the house, they see, this flaw, that flaw. I mean, every house has somewhat of some flaws to a degree. No house is perfect.
Right.
But, it does help to, I don't want to say hide is the word, but really give it life and give it value.
Right.
And sometimes people are so visual that may deter the decision, that they once had 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I like to say, let's wait till we're all the way in the end zone, it's completed, and then give us a heads up, 10 days prior, and we'll get it destaged. You're not going to have to pay any more, extra money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we're a little bit different also as far as our company.
Yep. Yeah, don't start doing that celebration too early.
No,
right?
no.
The Leon Lett style. Remember, I think it was in the Super Bowl. Leon Lett and Don Beebe. But yeah, so we're talking with Tina Russell here, Envision It Home Staging, talking about home staging on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And you got a great website as well. On the website, people can contact you, find information. Walk us through your website.
Yeah, so on our website, you see here on the home page where basically you're going to be able to see, basically our before and after shots that we have done. Not all of them, but some of them. And also, actually, here's a before pic of one of our investors, actually, their home, and the after. And many times, again, dealing with investors, I'm helping them change their mindset of, this is just an investment property.
Right.
I don't want to spend any more money. And they're finding out, wait a minute, maybe I do want to invest a little bit, because they are definitely getting higher offers and their homes are standing out above the investment market. And this one, I wanted to just show, this is, we all live like this sometimes, right?
Right.
Not every home is perfect. And so just showing that, as being a realtor, you walk into this when someone wants to sell their home,
right,
and you're like, okay, the first thing you see is the visuals, what has to be decluttered, etc. We will help them declutter. Sometimes maybe they don't have the budget for a full stage, so that's okay. We'll go ahead and do a partial stage or use their furniture, but make it look nice, rearrange in the home. So so we're pretty flexible in trying to fit their budget as well as what they're looking for their goals.
Yeah, some sellers, you run into that budget thing a lot of times, especially when it comes to the listing side. I focus on the listing appointments. I've got 35 plus listings, and when you talk about that, it talks about percentages and things of that nature. When in your business, it's something where we're introducing something new in many cases. It's not per se a percentage. It's a flat fee based type program, but when you look at the market shift, I think that's one thing people aren't really, and I try to coach even my prospective clients. I want to look at I want to educate everybody I speak with, and when I do, a lot of these for sale by owners, they're living in the mentality of last year. They think it's 12 months ago still, and that just properties are they're not moving as fast, especially the higher you go up the price point. And Scott, you can attest to this too from what you're seeing. The market is shifting, so it's harder to sell now than it was even 3 months ago and 2 months ago, and that pendulum is swinging, and it's kind of like a golf swing. It's kind of like Tiger Woods. When he's at the top of the swing, it's not moving as fast as it is when it gets to that full-fledged bottom where he's making contact. Yes, correct. And that's what my investors right now are actually starting to pay attention to. Because, I like to say is the faster we can, get this staged up for you, we know that it's going to, stand out in the market. And let's keep that cash flow moving for you, because they do have long-term goals. They want to, turn around another property by the end of the year.
Well, that's why right now they're like, you know what, this kind of makes sense right about now.
Yep.
So for us, that's what we're doing is we're offering a special as well. Just, anyone that's listening in on the show today that, 1,200 foot square foot home or less, we will stage your home for $1,000.
Nice.
Just flat rate, no extra fees, no nothing to, just help you along in your goals for this year.
Very cool. Well, thanks for doing that for our listeners out there.
Yes.
And, of course, the website, consumerqb.com. You can submit an email form on the website or call the hotline if you'd like to speak directly with one of our it's our off-air line, by the way. Sometimes people call me, hey, am I on the air? No, you're not on the air today. Not right now. But, so we're on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Tina Russell's in the house and making her debut. And we're talking about Envision It Home Staging. And the home staging business is one that is such a complementary to a real estate team and a good marketing plan. So there's so many things, so many, components and mechanisms in place when we're selling an asset, especially with the internet and social media. Now this is one more, tool that you can have in your toolbox to help you understand more of how to reduce those days on the market, stand out from the crowd,
Yes.
and, increase your personal absorption rate. You have the absorption rate for the community and the neighborhood, but let's get your house sold faster for more money. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from our expert contributors, Scott Kepler and Tina Russell here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, our feel-good story of the day is a good one. This is a governor from Texas announces a $1.6 billion deal for teacher raises right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out bgca.co if you want to find out what Ken Shamrock, UFC Hall of Famer, and I've been up to Ken Shamrock, Des Woodruff. bgca.co is our website with our company we launched, and it started with the book, the Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. But we put together this company helping entrepreneurs succeed in their startup of a radio and TV show, growing their celebrity, and the ways that they can utilize the power of the media. So building a personal brand, increasing your celebrity status, and ways that you can grow your wealth through those types of areas. bgca.co. All right, back here in studio, hoping you win. We've got Scott Kepler in the house, Mortgage Approval Group, Tina Russell, Envision It, home staging and making its debut back, not debut. Joseph Warren's going to be here on the show here in just a moment. Before we jump back into that, I want to let you know about a hot listing, 12610 Port Marnock Drive. This is a great opportunity in Odessa in a golf community. So attention our golfers out there. We got water views in the front and back. Beautiful floor plan, excellent flooring as well, and it's a gorgeous home in a gated community at the Turnberry at the Eagles. $530,000 list price, and it's well worth it. It's a great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Pool and spa, and you're on the golf course. What else do you want here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida? Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, so Joseph Warren is in the house. He's a podcaster. He's got his CoCreativ business, and you got your first 100K podcast, the Broken Catholic podcast, and you're a published author. What else going on?
Yeah, and I started a spiritual coaching business.
That's
but
right.
To lighten that plate, I just sold my co-working business, brother.
Did you?
Yeah,
Nice.
dude. Yeah, so we could get into what that was like and what God did in my life through that journey, because it was nothing short of painful, the process. But, just like anything,
Yeah.
letting go.
Yeah.
Letting go and transitioning into the next step for your life. Sometimes we hold on to things that God's trying to remove from our life.
Right.
And we resist and block what he's trying to do.
That's right.
So I know some of your listeners can relate to that. And I went through it myself. I went through the suck. I'm on the other side of the suck now.
Yep.
And we're tracking 100K in the spiritual coaching business already right out the gate, which is awesome.
Nice.
Which leads into, my podcast, First 100K. How do you
Yeah.
make your first $100,000 in your business, whatever industry you're in?
That's right. Yeah, I like it. And there's so many ways that can be different for different people. There's so many niches now. We're kind of talking about that earlier, niches in the real estate riches. But now, with your first 100K podcast, there's so many different areas. Online marketing is one of the most intriguing. People making money while they sleep. There's people are reselling to Amazon. I mean, most people don't realize about 2/3 of the stuff on Amazon is actually reseller activity.
Yes.
I love that you brought that up, because that comes up a lot on my First 100K podcast is, well, where do you start making money once you niche down?
Right.
And one of my episodes, it was like 2 weeks ago, Quinnell Dixon, who was a listener who listened to my show for, I think I told you this, for 12 months and followed all the tips and strategies he heard from other guests, and he just hit his first 100K for the first time in his life.
Nice.
Right? And he says that he started to make money when he niched 3 levels down.
Nice.
And that was where the money was. And so many coaches, business owners, entrepreneurs, they'll niche down one niche. It's like, I want to work with women. Right? That's their niche. That's not enough. You're not going to make money there.
Right.
Right? But, okay, I want to work with house moms, that are working by themselves, single housewives. Or not housewives, but single house moms. And, right? And then what's the third niche? Well, they're going through this stage of their life.
Right.
And this is what's happening in their life. This is the pain that they're going through. When you're able to niche down 3 levels, that's where you start making money.
I like it. Yeah, so not just a real estate investor, a real estate investor that specializes in Airbnb, beach, or waterfront properties.
There you go.
So there's another example of how you niche into that. And then when you do that, you're going to be probably in less company than you are if you were to stay more of a broad approach. And that's going to help lead to your success because you are niched, and then you're going to attract in other people that like that same niche as well.
You're so right. And you get to name your own market price. because it's not a crowded place.
Yes.
And your value's already there because you're now the authority within your niche.
Right.
Why? Because it's 3 level down.
Yes.
And 90% of the people don't go to the 3rd level.
Right.
So now you have that whole market share. You're targeted right to people's pain points. Now when you have a sales conversation with them, it's mostly just, hey, let's just see if we want to work together, because they already see the value.
Yeah.
They already know the pain they're in. By the time they reach out to you, they're ready to do business.
Yeah.
Now,
That's true.
are we a fit? Yes or no? And it's not the salesy pitch type thing. It's
Yeah.
just a conversation of 2 humans. Hey, do we want to work together?
Right.
And is it the right timing
Yeah.
in your life?
Yeah, timing. Life is all about timing, and when you're looking at, whether it's a personal relationship, a business relationship, timing, and the way that you present that information out to people. Who you're willing to partner with at that certain time. Man, so much of life is dependent on that. We're talking with Joseph Warren here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, first 100K podcast, and Broken Catholic podcast as well. And so let's talk about that. Selling your business. I mean, that's got to be something interesting. It's almost like giving up a child for adoption or something. I mean, you birthed that thing. I remember years ago, had some really great networking events there. You drove traffic to the site. It was a great location. So you were one of the early adopters in the Tampa Bay market for CoCreativ workspaces. You actually coined the phrase almost.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
That. So then now you sold it. Awesome.
Yeah, so we brought co-working or office rental shared space to Tampa Bay 5+ years ago. And you used a great analogy, birthing a child, but imagine giving up your child at age 5. Right? And that's what we did. It was over 5 years ago. And we built a very successful company. We had good profit margins. We had the same profit margins as Regis, which is a $1 billion brand. Higher revenues, but same profit margin for them. And here we are at a place, and this is the spiritual side of things, because I believe you got to build faith into your business.
Right.
You can't leave your beliefs at the front door. Otherwise, you show up incongruent in your life, in your business, etc.
That's
so
right.
if you really want to win in life, you want to integrate both. So I was able to do that, and I've shared with you, I said that tragic prayer. I said, God, remove any obstacles that are blocking the calling you have for my life, and use force if necessary. And that's when, 2 weeks later, he started stripping the business away from me forcefully. I resisted. I tried to salvage it, rebuild it, and all of a sudden I went from 2 hours working a week and great profit and just sitting at home chilling to full-time back in the business, rebuilding it. And the more I tried to rebuild it, the faster God stripped it away. So finally I let go, I tapped out, and I just left the business. And I said, fine, it's yours. If it sinks, it's on you. And sure enough, as soon as I left, the business finances stabilized. Then all of a sudden, God brought a buyer to the table. This gentleman, local business owner, he said, hey, I'm really interested in what you built. I love it. I want to buy it. And we started creating a deal. And the deal was going to fall through right before Easter. Right at the end, there was 3 major obstacles to make that deal happen. And they were impossible situations, or so it seemed. But I worship, and we worship, the God of the impossible. And literally, when it took that total faith and trust, and it was God saying, will you trust me even now?
Right.
When everything looks like it's not going to happen.
Right.
And we leaned in, and we trusted, and sure enough, the business closed on Good Friday.
Nice.
And I spent 3.5 hours on Good Friday sitting there, signing away my 5-year-old baby.
Yeah.
And business. And it was just an amazing experience of how God is faithful if we are faithful.
That's awesome.
And I had to really see that through. And, some people say, did you get the amount of money that you were hoping for? And I'm like, well, I'm human, so I would have liked another 0 or 2 on that check, but I'm free.
Yeah.
And God needed to remove that to create that open space for what he wants me to do now.
Yeah. So you were passionate about that business for a while. You kind of seems like you may have lost a little bit of passion for it at the end there, and then
You're right.
So it turned into, hey, let me focus on these things that I'm really passionate about, that I want to do, and I want to contribute more to society. And so that's interesting. I love the fact that it worked out for you. And there's another happy business owner out there that's inheriting what you took, and he's gonna, what did he share with you his plans, and he's gonna try to expand or anything like that?
Yeah, he definitely wants to expand and build upon it. And he has an existing courier business. So he saw our overhead. You've seen our office space. You're one of our members, and he's like, I love what you built here. And he's going to leverage his other business's overhead into ours.
Nice.
So he's actually going to cut his cost of his other business and put it into this business. So both his businesses now are going to win.
Nice.
So it was a great deal for him. It was a great deal for me because I was able to be set free. And that's what God does.
That's
he
right.
creates these win-win solutions when we put all our trust in him. Not 99%, not 98%, 100%.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff. All right. Joseph Warren, first 100K podcast, spiritual coach right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, when we come back, more from our expert contributors. Stick around. We're going to have our best nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom from all of our expert contributors here. Scott Kepler's in the house, Mortgage Approval Group. Tina Russell, Envision It Home Staging. And, of course, Joseph Warren here. And our feel-good story of the day is a good one. Texas governor announces a $1.6 billion deal for teacher raises. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Check out PlatinumMVPteam.com for all of our real estate properties. PlatinumMVPteam.com. realestatequarterback.com. We'd love to help you with your real estate search, whether you're buying, selling, or investing. We'd love to talk to you. Back here in studio, we're helping you win. We got our expert contributors in the house, Scott Kepler, Mortgage Approval Group, Tina Russell, Envision Home Staging, and Joseph Warren as well, the First 100K podcast here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, this is a great place to vacation. It's filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for many years. So whether you're planning a quick business trip or a little getaway, go check them out. Bilmar Beach Resort. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And every day we're going to tell you something positive in our Feel Good segment of the day. And today we have a good one for you here.
Tell me something good.
All right, so this Texas governor announces a $1.6 billion deal for teacher raises. So Texas lawmakers announced on Thursday that they have passed legislation to spend $1.6 billion on raises for teachers. The final version of the bill also includes increasing classroom spending by $4.5 billion. And in the inauguration, I made some pretty bold promises to the people of Texas, said Governor Greg Abbott, sworn into his second term in January. I said we must reward teachers in school districts that achieve results. We've done that. I said we must prioritize spending in the classroom. We've done that. I said we will do what no one else thought possible. We will finally fix school finance in Texas, and I'm proud to tell you today we're announcing that we have done exactly that. The proposal also includes a merit program to pay exceptional teachers even more. Eventually, they could make a six-figure living and not having to go into being a principal or administration, said Representative Dan Huberty of Texas House Chair Committee. So that's good for our teachers. I love
Absolutely.
that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my brother's a teacher down in the Fort Myers area, and he tells me some of his pains that he's dealing with. You know, you can't even do you can't do a pop quiz anymore these days. You know, in some school district, isn't it? I mean, that just tells the kids, don't worry about studying.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have the possibility of, I mean, just ridiculous.
Yeah, like life's not going to show up and surprise you ever. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, no.
You know, it's just stuff like that. And of course, you know, the politics that goes on within these organizations sometimes, it's so counterproductive. But all right, so we won't go down that.
Just as bad with that too.
We won't go down that bunny trail though.
No, we won't.
I can tell that's a pet peeve.
Oh man, we could pick
that's
on
like
some of that.
right there.
Yeah. So let's stick with our topic of being a consumer advocate, and let's jump right into our lightning round here.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
All right, so top tips,
lightning round.
nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Ladies first, Tina Russell, Envision Home Staging.
Yes, I would say that if you're looking to sell your home here soon, you know, one of the things, you know, sometimes it can get overwhelming. So what you want to do is you want to begin to declutter, you know, your house. I mean, not everybody wants to live the way that you live or the way that I live. So that's just my tip today, to just start somewhere. Begin to declutter, you know, put away those extra picture frames, you know, put away the kids' toys, get some tubs. You know, you can even find some plastic tubs on the marketplace really cheap, and just begin there and not think about what, you know, all of the lists that you have to do before you sell your home.
Yeah, maybe some of the pictures and photographs that are just, as you go life, just the wall gets bigger, it's too much,
Yes.
it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Scan it into your computer, so you're killing two birds. You're decluttering, and you're also electronically saving your pictures and
Yes.
photographs and
Yep.
you know, college graduations and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Scott Kepler, Mortgage Approval Group.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brandon. I guess my words of wisdom would be, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, whether you're a renter or if you're thinking about going that next step and starting a investment portfolio with real estate, reach out to me. My team and we're here to help. We'd love to hear about your goals and see what we can do to help them become a reality.
Yeah, Scott, I think, you know, between us, you know, decades of experience in real estate and mortgage, and, you know, a lot of times they're selling these online courses for real estate coaching and investing strategies. And,
Sure.
you know, there's people are spending tens of thousands of dollars for this information that you and I know.
And
we have it.
And we'll talk to anybody that wants to talk to us about it.
You want to have
know,
that
and
conversation?
We'll help you put it together and make it happen.
That's right.
And then, you know, if you want to sell it down the road, we'll turn you over and we'll get it staged, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so, you know, the information's out there. It's available. It's up to the people to take action. You know, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, call the hotline or call my office. Call your office.
Yep.
You know, we're here. We've got, you know, you can get us through the website. ScottKepler.com is my personal, or you can go to the Consumer Quarterback Show website, and there's a link there as well.
Awesome. All right, Joseph Warren.
I think society tells us that if you pursue money and greed and power, you shall be happy. The Grant Cardones of the world, the 10X, and not to put anybody under the bus, God bless them, right?
Yep.
I went to the conference.
Yep.
However, I've been on both sides of that fence.
Yep.
I've made the millions of dollars. I've also been in poverty. And I can tell you this, once you make the money, if you've sacrificed other areas of your life that really mattered along the way while you were building your business empire, you're going to find yourself in a very lonely and empty place once you get to the top.
That's right.
I did.
Yep.
So I work with clients that are doing really well in business, but they've sacrificed some of those areas.
Yep.
They're headed for divorces.
Yep.
They don't even know it.
Yep.
I help them avoid that divorce and get their wife back.
Yep.
Right? Some of my clients, one of my clients, he got his 3 daughters back into his life because he had not been involved in their life because he was building the business empire, thinking he's a good dad because he's providing for their material needs, but not being present in their life. So he got his daughters back. That's what I do with my spiritual coaching. That's the benefit to you, the listener.
Yep.
And if you want to, you could schedule a spiritual clarity call with me to get clear on what you want in your life. And if we want to work together, you can find that at josephwarren.net/possibilities. josephwarren.net/possibilities.
Yeah, that's good stuff there, Joseph. It you know, it really is. You look at the largest divorce settlement ever in history, Jeff Bezos. His wife got $37 billion.
That's insane.
And yeah, $37 billion. And I heard that she gave $17 billion to, I forgot the charity, but to a charity I think that he didn't particularly invest in or didn't like or something like that. But you know, so it does. You know, when you get your priorities out of whack, you know, it rolls into that. And I watched that movie, Clint Eastwood movie, The Mule, recently. You know, interesting story through that. But you know, that was kind of the theme of that show as well, or that movie as well, is you know, having the priorities in line. And today there's so many ways that you can do it. You can make a lot of money in a lot of different ways if you want to, or not. You could, you know, and it's not necessarily money. It's success in whatever way you envision that success, where you're looking at whether it's growing a business, growing a family, you know, having a passive income. Maybe one of the spouses working hard enough so the other can stay home with the kids and give them that homeschool treatment that most parents would love to have, to, you know, be able to afford to their children. I almost said clients. They are clients in a way.
Yeah. I don't know. They're an expense from what I understand.
Yeah, they are. They're expensive clients. But so the idea is, you know, hey, whatever you're passionate about, centered around that passion, model an expert, find somebody that's winning in that game and model that person, and just have the wherewithal to take great advice when people offer you advice, you know, and finding a mentor, following that path of someone who's done it already, and focusing always on the Pareto principle is one of my big points. I always go back to it, the 80-20 rule, those 20% of the key tasks that you're doing that are going to contribute to your success. And it may be the things you don't like to do. Who likes to make cold calls? Who likes to call FSBOs and expires if you're in real estate? You know, some people will say they do, and that's what shows through when they get a bunch of listings. Let's do another quick round here of our top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Tina Russell, Envision at Home Staging.
Yes, I guess my second tip today would be, you know, just if you're wanting to just, you know, spruce up your home, getting ready to sell again, you know, before I come in, one of the greatest things that I just, you know, convey to my clients is, you know, stick with the neutral colors. Like if you want to put a fresh paint, you know, on your living room, bedroom walls, you know, it's really, it does wonders to open up your home, and it causes your home to actually appear larger, especially in smaller spaces. And that's where we would come in and help you make that small bedroom look big. You'd be surprised what we can fit, you know, in a smaller bedroom. And so if you're interested in, you know, contacting us, we are a family-owned business right here in Tampa Bay. Very proud to do that in our transition in which God led us in our path right now as well. And our number is 813-540-2200, or you can visit our web, which is www.envisionithomestaging.com.
Envision it with an E.
Yes.
Envision it
Yes, with an E.
homestaging.com. And Scott Kepler.
I think the my second piece is just kind of a follow up to what we were talking about before. Is if you're trying to get prepared, you're not sure where to start as far as buying a house or the investment side. That we can help you with that. You don't have to go online and spend thousands of dollars to track down some course that may or may not have correct information for our particular market. And we are based here locally. I've been in Tampa for 21 years and in the mortgage business the whole time. So I can certainly help any clients that need that advice, or any prospective home buyers or prospective investors. We've got a variety of different loan programs, from VA and FHA to conventional to hard money, and special programs that we've talked about in the past are self-employed people, and of course the renovation loan is a big part of our business too.
That's right.
So feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to talk with you about any of that.
Support the local economy right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Local lenders, local home stagers, local podcasters, local real estate companies. It's all local here, not those big national firms that are claiming to have low costs. And oh man, don't get me started on that one. All right. So we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.